out there.
Yeah, I know. At least someone it. Hey guys, what's up? I popped on here for a couple of seconds. So this is one of the main event matches that we have for the weekend, and this is the prediction show for Money in the Bank. I'm gonna be producing, so I'm gonna step off in a second, but I've kind of have an announcement. Well, two of them. This match will have a stipulation that I've put out there multiple times, and it's been agreed upon. You guys did an amazing job with the Trevor Project. I am very impressed. I did the chug thing and it was great. So I wanted to put a special stipulation, and I think donating, even if people are watching this and they want to do the same thing and donate, that's great. But with everything going on in this tournament, and this is part of my legacy, my mom is also part of my legacy. So the stipulation is this, and it's been agreed upon. Whoever loses, whatever amount they want to do, $20, whatever, they need to donate it to either the Jimmy Fund that's out of Boston that goes out of Dana-Farber, the Lowell General Cancer Society, which is actually, I'll post their website afterwards, and my sister pointed this out because they did an amazing job with my mom, the American Cancer Society. So whoever doesn't win this match, doesn't matter if you even throw $20 Canadian or $20 American, so long as it goes to something special, that's fine. Second announcement, we will be doing an undercard for Mania. That card has already been started being formed. One of the matches, and I'm proud to announce that we will be having a tag team match as an undercard for Mania with stipulations. It will be, if agreed upon, the OC, the original or OC crew that's on the show versus Tale of Two Beards. And we'll see who gets that, with the chance to actually call out.
True, though.
Yeah.
So I get to be on both sides.
But the chance to actually have their own version of Money in the Bank. The stipulation in that is that whoever is the champion, whoever has that stipulation in there, basically can't carry a briefcase because I can't afford one, will be able to pick the pay-per-view and the match style at their discretion. Now, I want to say thank you both for doing this. I'm going to get off and just let's see who can kick each other's ass.
Oh, you know that's going down. Tad, you're looking wonderful today, by the way. And I had to. I'll be fireworks for the next, hour?
Whose budget are you blowing on this one?
I was going to say.
Personal stash. This isn't Love.
If you can't invest in yourself, what can you invest in, right?
That's right.
100%.
Spend my money.
Well played. Well played. Nicely done. I appreciate that. That was
I've already got him wrapped. Got him wrapped.
He's already in your head, Spenny. He's got your.
Oh no, don't worry. I'm carrying a championship. I'm okay.
For a week. Ever since this match was announced, I've been living rent free up there, and it's nice. It's warm because of all that hair he's got.
Pluggo, I'm sleeping. I'm sleeping just fine at night, bud. I am sleeping absolutely fine at night.
I know, and I'm just hanging out there rent free up in your head while you're sleeping, chilling.
That's fine.
Dreaming.
I've always seen you in my dreams, Pluggo.
Well, guys, welcome to another episode of our Crazy Wicked Pinfalls prediction show. We have an awesome show for you guys today. One of the matches that I've been looking forward to personally. Obviously, we've got the Iconics brother, Pluggo.
Iconic.
Welcome to the show.
It's the inspiration now.
It is the inspiration.
I think you got to do right by the new name.
And especially considering what might be happening this weekend. But hey, this specific prediction show is speaking about WWE Money in the Bank. And our other guest that you've heard, Spenny Love. Spence, welcome to the show.
Hey, good to see you guys. Good to see you, Pluggo. It's nice to hop on and kick your ass on another platform. Excited for it. If you guys want to tune into Pluggo's more regular ass kickings, you can catch those on lovewrestling.ca. Pretty well any day of the week. Pluggo's very generous in giving his time to lose to me at things, and it's nice that we're able to take it over to Throwback side of things.
You're going international with this.
It's truly becoming a world's heavyweight championship. I'm very excited.
I mean,
A world tour.
Fucking me, so it took so long for this matchup to happen because I thought you just were scared there, Spenny.
No, I just got scheduled in for Money in the Bank. I'm a prize fighter, Pluggo. I show up when scheduled for the paycheck and the championship. Wait, you guys are getting paid? No, it's a booking fee thing. If I've learned anything from professional wrestling, it's make sure that you only show up when you're booked to win and for the paycheck.
Luckily for me, I get paid by the pound.
Oh.
So I'm hey.
I'm not going to comment. I'm not going to go down that road. That's just not my road to go down. That's not fair.
This road to go down is the road. The L today. You're taking this big L in the round one.
The L was backwards.
Well,
it's not even.
I can't figure out the camera. You know, you've watched my show. You know I'm not the brightest bulb in the box, but you know we make it work.
Man, I always love seeing you. It's good to see you again.
Good times. Good times. I'm glad to see Tad. Tad, you're looking like $1 million in that ref uniform.
Oh, thank you.
Hope you got that crisp $100 bill I put in the pocket before the show.
Hey.
Done, baby.
I found it on the floor. Okay, I found it on the floor. That's the official statement.
Found it. We're good to go, baby.
Awesome stuff. And we started this off with some fireworks, not just from Pluggo, but also from Throwback with an awesome announcement. We've got an undercard building for WrestleMania next year. As you guys know, this tournament it started at WrestleMania this year. It's going all the way to WrestleMania next year. We're still currently in round 1 of this tournament, and we're going all the way. There's going to be an undercard. There's some super exciting matches up for that WrestleMania weekend. We've got special guests. I've heard rumors, I've heard murmurs of special guests that are going to be on that show. Whether or not Pluggo or Spencer's going to be there, we will find out tonight.
Don't worry. If he plays his cards right, I'll just hire him to carry around the title I'm about to win. He
can walk behind you with the boombox. Yeah. Boombox and the title.
You can talk to my advocate.
Well, Pluggo, will he be holding that sign behind you?
Yes. This one.
Look at just like the poor spatial reasoning on that. I can't even begin to talk about the messaging. Just like the fact that you didn't plan out how large each letter had to be very clearly. Like, look at that R. Can you zoom in on that R in Spencer? It's almost as though you tried your best to like write Spence. And then you thought, oh shit, he's got an R in his name and I have to fit it in somewhere. But because of my poor spatial planning on this 11 by 10 or 11 by 7 piece of paper, I simply cannot function. Simply cannot do it.
I'm not an artist, okay? The message is clear. I can't help it that my handwriting.
Do you have a piece of paper to hang behind you that says 0-1?
No, I won't need it. It's gonna say
it's okay. I'll send that one to you.
If you expense that one to the expense report.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Tax deductible.
You know what? I'll get those on one of the legal sheets of paper so that you can maybe fit the entire frickin' statement in there without your terrible spatial reasoning getting in the way.
You know what? It is what it is. The message.
I'll cover the expense for the O.
The message is clear.
I'm already winning. That's the producer hops in the show. The producer hopped in the show to say I was right, Pluggo, about you being 0-1. They will pay for you to have a sign advocating as to your poorness.
I think the producer needs to stay impartial on this one. I know everybody's.
No. I don't think he needs to at all.
Of course you don't.
No, of course not.
Of course not.
All righty.
Take titles, unfairly. You don't let anybody else get a shot at the POS title, so you can't have a shot at this one. This is your shot. It's over. It's done. Finish.
One and done.
One and done. It's nice that you were on the show. I appreciate your time, but listen, it's coming home to Daddy. It's coming home to Pluggo. It's gonna be
okay. You gotta
between two beards every day.
While I disagree with what you had to say, I will defend to the death your right to say it.
Awesome stuff. Now, Pluggo, coming into this tournament, obviously a huge first round matchup. You got Spenny Love here, who is a fierce competitor. He's won championships before He's got that championship pedigree. What is your game plan going into this prediction? It's Money in the Bank. Are you going head? Are you going with your heart, or a bit of both? What are you thinking?
I'm going with all of it, all of me, all 300 pounds of just pure awesome coming at Spencer Love, beard and all. Don't think just because he's won it's a hollow championship. I'll say that the championship is only defended between 2 people, not really that prestigious. So
you realize that your co-host on Between Two Beards earned a championship opportunity by coming to SummerSlam with me, right? That's all you had to do was come to Vegas, like we offered you to, and you said no. So,
well, I'm pretty.
Who's the coward? You're the one. You won't come out. You won't come out for a championship opportunity. It's fine.
Maybe if my boss paid me more, but that's none of my business.
Oh,
this is why we don't. But here, you've won. I won some championships. I got some spelling bees under my belt. I've got plenty of participation trophies right now that says I participated to my best abilities. So guess what? I'm bringing this title home too, and hopefully
here comes another one.
Look,
Spencer, same question to you. I mean, obviously, from your side of things, you're coming up against a guy that's, trying to make a boyhood dream come true, trying to win his first official wrestling championship. Are you going to crush his dreams here? What's going on?
I showed up, didn't I? So I think the answer is a conclusive yes. I'm happy to come out here and make this a very much Mike Tyson versus a toddler fist fight. I'm not just here to win. I'm here to dominate. And because I turned on my computer today and arrived, I mean, look at the competition.
Late. I was prepared. I showed up.
I was here. I was part of Throwback's intro. If you didn't just tear back the curtain there, no one would have ever known. So way to go. Way to go. Pluggo's a snitch. So I think that, like, if we're going to go to a fan vote here, Pluggo's already proven he's a snitch. He tried to bribe the ref. Lots of issues here.
You ain't cheating, you ain't trying.
Okay, that's completely fair. I think we can agree on that.
You know what I'm saying? You ain't cheating. Pretty soon I'm going to throw a chair your way, and then Tad's going to disqualify you for having
to throw one over. If I duck in time.
That you're supposed to hit you. You're supposed, if you're not going to play along, Spencer, this isn't going to go well.
No, I'm good.
My bad. Eh?
If you right over.
Boston jersey I'm rocking today. It's that Jimmy Boston there accuracy there.
Oh, amazing stuff. And speaking of amazing stuff, guys, we start off this pay-per-view with a tag team match. It's Rey Mysterio and Dominic Mysterio versus the Usos. Now, obviously, as we said, we're going to be giving our predictions. You guys are going to tell me who you think is going to win the match, and you're going to tell me how you think this match is going to be won. Is it going to be pinfalls, submissions, DQ, however you see the matches finishing themselves? But Spencer, I'm going to start with you as a champion. I think it's only fair to start with a champion. Rey Mysterio and Dominic Mysterio, they're obviously starting this feud with the Usos. It kind of started with Rey and Roman Reigns. Rey getting that match. I think both of them, Roman and Rey, kind of went politicking for themselves here. Said, look, we want the day off on Father's Day. Let's just make a match for ourselves. We'll do it on a Friday. We'll chill the whole weekend. And then this has developed into, obviously it's been bled into one of the key storylines in WWE TV. How have you thought about this build-up and how are you seeing this match going?
I love it. And I'm super, super, super excited. Of course, SmackDown's going to be great with fans coming back, but that 6-person tag match that's supposed to main event tonight, I'm very excited to see what happens. Personally, as far as it goes with the pay-per-view, I don't see them switching titles on a pre-show match. I really don't. And especially when you've got the opportunity to make it a really big deal with the Usos beating the Mysterios, that's got some, it's got some cachet to it still, despite the fact that I don't think it's been a particularly memorable championship run on their end. I'm going to go with I don't know. I'm going to go with the Usos winning via DQ, or the Mysterios winning via DQ at Money in the Bank.
Interesting stuff. That flipped from the Usos to the Mysterios really, really quickly.
Well, sorry, I think the Usos are going to get themselves disqualified, so the Mysterios would therefore win. That's where the confusion came from.
Okay.
But I don't see them switching titles right off the bat. But how you can ostensibly have the Usos lose right now when I think they're going to take a major step forward in that story after last week. That's just my thought. I think the Usos are going to stay in that title picture. I think they're going to get themselves DQ'd somehow so that it continues on to SummerSlam, and then maybe you switch them there.
Which obviously is the biggest show of the summer. And what an epic place to have that switch. Now, Pluggo, are you going head-to-head in the first matchup here against Spenny Love? He's obviously gone. The Mysterios winning by an Usos DQ. You have to go Usos now. You have to show some balls here.
Yeah, well, you pick Spenny first. So, of course, if I go with him, he's going to say, well, geez, just going on, ride my coattails like always. Blah, blah. I'm Spencer Love.
I do sound like that. I will vouch for that. That's exactly how I sound most of the time.
Jim, if you watch my show, Jim Uso doesn't need to be on TV right now. So I think Jim Uso gets pinned clean in the middle by Dominic Mysterio. That's how deep I'm going with this.
Neat.
My goodness.
I'd like
Dominic
that
as well.
Well, I'm going to go with not much to say about it because it just started it up. And, Ray and Dominic, I guess, do whatever they want, just like Spencer Love. So
I do.
You're going for a pinfall.
We have different, yes. Since everybody's catering to Spencer, it's like whatever.
No, but look, you've gone pinfall. Spencer's gone DQ.
But no,
I think that at least separates you guys. There's a degree of separation there. Someone could be pulling away into the lead from the get-go here. How are you feeling about that?
That's fine. That's good.
Confident, very confident.
Out all night. I want him by like the fourth match to be in the corner crying. That's what I want.
Honestly, I'm going to be sitting down and doing probably exactly what I'm doing tonight, is just watching with enjoyment.
Awesome stuff. And guys, I'm just going to go straight ahead and knock out both tag team matches in terms of the men's tag team matches, because I don't know what's happening with the women's tag team titles at the moment. Mandy Rose has now gone back to NXT, and I'm assuming that was meant to be the match that was going to be the feud. And then we've seen, what's happening with the women's Money in the Bank match in terms of Tamina being added in there, and Natalia's been added in there. So we're going to park that for a second. Let's talk AJ Styles and Omos versus the Viking Raiders, those smelly, hairy Vikings, as AJ likes to call them. Pluggo, now, how are you feeling about this one? And how have you felt about this build-up? I mean, AJ, before WrestleMania, when he was coming into this year, he wasn't losing. All of a sudden, he's just taking pins left, right, and center. Are you envisioning another pinfall here?
But isn't that what the WWE does? They just pin champions left and right and make them, seem like losers, and then get the win at the pay-per-view. So I have a feeling, if it's me, I think that they somehow sneak out this victory, AJ and Omos. But it sets up and it seeds the eventual breakup at SummerSlam, because I think AJ Styles, like you said, last year was on fire, just like Pluggo is on fire, lighting up fireworks, killing it. AJ Styles, we're the same. We are winners. We get it done. We are destined to move on to bigger and better things. So I think they get the win here at Money in the Bank, and then you just go ahead and take the titles off him at SummerSlam and let AJ ride into Royal Rumble and get back to where he needs to be at the top of the card.
And are you thinking pinfall as well in this one? Are you going 2 for 2 on the pinfalls?
It's going to be a pinfall win. I think Almost gets the pinfall.
Ooh,
does some of the work here. He's been doing a lot of the heavy lifting for AJ.
He's so rad, though.
He is.
Let's just get real. He is so cool. You and I have talked about it too, Pluggo. Like, him and Styles just have like this natural, almost like buddy cop chemistry is the best way I can put it, is like, their humor with each other is super, super subtle, and I think that's what makes them work so well. Like, usually WWE and professional wrestling as a whole is very heavy-handed with their humor. I liked it for the most part that, like, quite literally, it's just been like the little comments, the little digs between those two guys back and forth that has like really, really made him for me. Omos is the man.
I could see like almost tagging himself in and taking the pin and maybe starting a little dissension to their eventual loss down the road. That's where I'm at with it. And no, we don't talk off the air, Spencer. What are you talking about?
Yeah, it's true. Oh no, no, oh no.
Oh my God. Oh. Jesus.
But Speggy, from your perspective, yeah, how are you seeing this one? And as you say, this tag team has given me way more entertainment than I thought it was going to. I think AJ Styles just shows how much range he has. He can be serious, he can be funny, and then when you got the big man playing, the straight face to AJ being kind of the clown or the jokester of the team, I think it's working really, really well.
Yeah. I do agree with Pluggo in that I think that they're leading to a breakup sooner rather than later. I just think that the sort of seeds are going to be planted for that at Money in the Bank. I think that they're going to pull the title switch at MITB. I think your Viking Raiders are going to walk away as your new tag team champions after the show on Sunday. I think that AJ is going to take the pin, like you guys have said. He's been losing a lot. I think it was Sean Ross Sapp tweeted out that like AJ Styles in 2020 took 6 losses all year. And like this was 2 weeks ago, so the numbers have changed even since then. But at that point, he had already lost 6 times since winning the championships at WrestleMania. So I think they can use that as the impetus. Omos coming in, this being his first championship, something he takes a lot of pride in. Styles being the reason that he loses that. I would have a lot of time, and I know it's a short turnaround time on it. But, like, what bigger match and what better way could you make Omos than Omos versus Styles at a SummerSlam? I think there's a lot of money to be made there. And I think that the Viking Raiders, they've had unfortunate timing with a lot of the injuries they've had because, like, anytime they've been on TV, you can tell everybody fan-wise loves them. And they seem to get that real big push whenever they come back on. I hope that that's the case this time as well. I've got Ivar pinning AJ Styles after the Viking experience to win the Raw Tag Team Championships.
I'll never get over that name, the Viking experience. I mean, don't get me started on that. Don't get me started on that. I'm gonna get distracted if I do. But Pluggo, you had a thought on any final thoughts on this match itself?
Oh, that was good. Spencer came to play, I guess. I like that. I still hold true to what I said. I believe when I said my bearded brothers are going to take an L at the old Money in the Bank.
Oh, interesting stuff. And what I love about this matchup so far is that straight off the bat, we've gone with different answers. Usually I go into these things and the first two, I think maybe people are a bit nervous or something, and the answers are the same. You can see there's a bit of tension. No, you guys have gone straight for the jugular. You said, you know what? We're going to decide this. We're going to decide this early.
Of course we are.
Fans out there that follow Love Wrestling. No, I don't listen to Spencer. I don't go with what Spencer says. Don't spend a bunch of money on fireworks. What do? Spend a bunch of money on fireworks.
Spend a whole lot of money on fireworks. Yeah, that's...
he says, make your signs better. I do this, spatially unsound. It's what I do. So,
why wouldn't you type them? Type them.
Hey, boss.
That's true. Printer ink is like somehow more expensive than oil, and that's insane.
Yeah, I'm just saying, just keep cutting them checks. Maybe I could afford some nicer signs. Especially with our
Continue
he's on vacation.
To cut Pluggo checks. All right, let's do it.
It's been noted. It's been noted. It's certainly been noted. And speaking of noting something, there was a big announcement in terms of this next matchup. I'm speaking the women's Money in the Bank ladder match. Now, I'm trying to space the two Money in the Bank ladder matches here. And originally, in my notes here, I had a bonus point for the person who would guess who that last competitor would be. Now, in typical WWE fashion, they've just gone and, with excellent logic, they've gone and thrown Tamina into this match. When all the speculation was rife, is Becky Lynch coming back? Maybe Sonya Deville has been rumored to be coming back. Maybe she throws herself into this match. Now, Spencer, first and foremost, how did you feel when you heard the announcement of who the last contestant was for this match?
To be honest with you, I got a lot more time for Tamina than a lot of people. But that being said, when you've got the rumors of people like Becky Lynch or like personally Sonya Deville, by my money, like her storyline and her involvement with the Mandy Rose and the Otis fling and all of that sort of stuff, that was the best storyline in WWE for almost a year, to be honest. And then, of course, everything that happened surrounding Sonya Deville really, really sucked that she had to take the time off from WWE. She is someone that I've been very excited to see back in the ring. So, like, when that's maybe the speculation, and there's some people that have great reputations in pro wrestling that are speculating as to her maybe returning, it is a little difficult on my end, and I don't mean any disrespect to Tamina on that side of things. I'm glad they announced it in advance, to be honest, rather than like had Tamina be the surprise entrance, because I think a lot of people would have shit on that in a very involved way at Money in the Bank, if you know what I mean. But yeah, it is what it is. I'm really, really excited. Money in the Bank, by my money, haha. Outside of the Royal Rumble is my favorite stipulation match. I love the unpredictability of it, and I really think that both this one and the men's match later, there's a couple favorites for sure that stand out, but you could make a reasonable case for anyone winning it. Another pun. That one was unintentional. But you really can. I think you look at any of the women involved in this match, and any of them have a pretty realistic shot of winning.
And that's kind of what we love as wrestling fans, is being able to book these matches. I mean, Royal Rumble, perfect match to book. You got 30 people, you know, if it's a men's Rumble, women's Rumble, 30 people that you can justify going on to WrestleMania. Here you got Money in the Bank. Once again, you've got so many competitors. You know, we've got people that logically make sense to go and win it, but you can always say, you could even start a feud between, you know, two people, just depending on who goes and wins it, who costs someone a match. So many variables can come from this match. So it's quite interesting. And before I move to Pluggo's thoughts on this match, I saw Aaron Entertainment's comment in the chat here. And guys, if you are listening live or you want to listen live and engage with us, definitely go into the chat. We see some Nia Jax shout there. Aaron Entertainment saying Tamina's going to win. He does clarify by saying he's joking afterwards. But I saw here Aaron Entertainment says Spencer and Pluggo are the Love Wrestling Experience. Is that a name you guys are keen to adopt there?
You know what? I'm going to trademark it and I'll sell it to Pluggo if he wants.
I don't have that kind of money. I can't afford printering.
You have that kind of money. I gave you the
You
Brock.
can barely afford a printer.
I just basically said Pluggo has the Brock deal for Wicked Crazy Pinfall, so he has.
What happened?
That
was weird. Lost you.
It's that Brock deal kicking in.
I don't see Tad Spencer. I don't see no Tad though. I don't know what happened there. I lost the best looking guy on the screen. Barry, what? I don't know what happened.
Am I back?
You're back.
Okay,
baby.
Cool. Awesome stuff.
Yeah, like I said, Spencer, we can the Love Wrestling War Experience, whatever, but you got to grow a beard if you want to be a part of that.
All right. Then probably not going to happen. And it won't be for a lack of trying.
Oh, man. There's still a chance that Tamina doesn't even enter this match. I'm calling it now. I think that there's an opportunity that she gets beat up before the match, and this is the way to throw us off the scent. Like, oh, you blew the big surprise, and then here comes my girl Becky Lynch just coming out, getting involved, man. That's what I'm thinking. That's how I feel.
Well, you know what we could do, because it's a no-lose situation.
Yeah.
If Tamina stays in the match, fair play. Yeah, if Tamina stays in the match, fair play, she stays in. If she doesn't get thrown into the match, do you guys want to throw out there a name that you think could be that last competitor that gets thrown into this match, and we throw it in there as a bonus point? Is that something you guys will be keen to do?
I'll stick with Sonya. Why not?
All right, Sonya. Pluggo?
Why not? Why not?
Who do you think?
I'll go with Becky Lynch as the surprise.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we got Sonya, we got Becky Lynch.
I'll go big or go home, because I'm going to get the winner of the thing right anyway.
I'm loving the confidence. Okay, Pluggo, go on then. Talk to us about this match. We've got Asuka versus Naomi versus Alexa Bliss versus Nikki Ash, almost a superhero. TM. I mean, I was legally bound to specify that she's almost a superhero. We don't want to get in trouble here. I mean, just to clarify that. We've also got Liv Morgan, Zelina Vega.
Personality.
Yeah, bags of personality though, but almost a superhero. Natalia, and then as we mentioned, Tamina and or Becky Lynch and or Sonya Deville. Pluggo, how do you feel this match is going to go?
Well, in kayfabe sense, right? Alexa Bliss should just win based on the fact that she can freeze people in time and get them to do whatever she wants, right? She has actual superpowers, unlike Nikki Ash or whatever you want to call her. But if I'm a betting man, I think I said it last night. I think you gotta do something. Asuka won it last year, so we can't go with Asuka, right? We'll go with Liv Morgan's gonna win this thing, right? That's what she's gonna scale the ladder. She's gonna take it down. Everybody's gonna pop because the way they've been treating her, it's gonna be awesome. And she, the last two, she's gonna be in there. Just get it done. I got nothing else. That's all I'm gonna say. If it's not Becky Lynch, it's Liv Morgan.
Yeah,
hey, look,
I was going to echo that. I've got Liv Morgan winning it too. Like, anyone could win it, and I agree. I think honestly, the thing that I'm kind of excited for if it ends up happening is like, okay, it's not the style that anybody had planned on it happening, but if we somehow get the Nikki Cross Alexa Bliss feud out of this, I'd be very excited. There's a real cool dichotomy there between, like, again, in the most grandiose cliche way I can put it, like the forces of evil versus this almost superhero Nikki Ash. I'd love that. I think Liv's the logical pick. She'd be fantastic. I think that she's someone who could do a great job of carrying it for a long time too, which hasn't happened for the last couple of years. The Money in the Bank championship, or the Money in the Bank briefcase, excuse me. Carmella after WrestleMania, so you got a good long run there. But like Asuka ended up winning the Raw Women's Championship, so that was gone quite literally the next night. Bayley cashed in the night of winning the Money in the Bank Championship. So I think that whoever wins it is going to carry this for more than your proverbial cup of coffee, and I think that Liv Morgan to do a really, really great job of doing that. I think Zelina Vega would be my dark horse, just because a lot of the time when you see people re-sign with WWE or re-sign a new contract with WWE, if they've continued to be there, like we saw with Cesaro earlier in the year, they tend to get, again, that big push right out the gate. So I'm going to stick with Liv Morgan. I think it's a lot more likely, and I know that's meaning I have to agree with Pluggo on something, but I would not be surprised to see Zelina Vega win it either.
Do we have a second option in case of a tie, since we both went Liv?
Sure, I'll go with Zelina on that end.
Referee Tad, do we go with the second, like a
backup? I think we can throw that one in. We can throw that one in.
Point with Tamina being announced, which I'll let you have your due, old Grand Poobah. You can pick first.
I'll take Zelina.
I'll go with Alexa Bliss then as my number 2. There you go. Now we got something. That's right. We're not going to agree.
Stop. Okay, so we've got.
Tad, we're gonna get him.
Oh.
And
You're lucky. You're lucky, Spencer.
You're lucky I'm being held back.
Oh no!
I'll just push you guys back.
Cat took out Spencer Love. Pluggo is the champ. Ain't the champ no more. Moving on to the next match. Let's go.
Interesting stuff. For my sake, just my 2 cents thrown in there. Having seen them giving it to Otis last year, I'm wondering if Vince, just to pop himself, might give it to Nikki. I mean,
I wouldn't have an issue.
There could
with
be
that,
legs.
though.
There could be legs.
I really wouldn't have a problem with it. And like, I'm sure like most people, honestly, when I first saw Nikki Cross / Nikki Ash, I was surprised and I really didn't like it. It's fantastic. I've completely flipped my opinion. I was wrong, and I'm happy to admit it as far as that goes. Like, she has been absolutely terrific in the role. You really, really don't ever think that like someone like I don't know about you guys, but I fell in love with like the crazy, psychotic, take no BS sanity Nikki Cross. And now that this is where she's gone and doing it so well is a testament to her. So she wins it, I'd have no issues because I think she'd do a great job of doing it.
I think that's the reason she does win is because of Otis, the Otis effect, as I said last night, because they dropped the ball so poorly on it last year with the comedy act. I think they're going to steer away from it this time. And that's not her fault. That's their fault because they dropped the ball with my man Otis.
Yeah,
they really did. And the thing for me as well with Nikki Cross is at least she's gone 100% into it. She's fully invested.
She's killing it. I love it.
Like, at the very least, give me that. And we know she can go in the ring. So anytime they need her to pull out a 20-minute match, she could do that in her sleep. So I do like the range that she's showing us. And as we've seen with, for example, Baron Corbin, who, when they give you these kind of tests where they're looking to see how much range do you have, usually it does lead to some sort of reward. So I wouldn't be surprised sometime down the future if Nikki Cross does get some kind of reward. And we'll move on to our next match. And we've spoken about how Nikki Cross has shown some range. Guys, has Rhea Ripley shown you guys much range? I mean, I'm so confused. Is she a babyface? Is she a heel? That's probably a prediction in its own, trying to figure that one out. But we've got Rhea Ripley. She's the defending champion. She's going to be defending her Raw Women's Championship against the Queen, Charlotte Flair. Pluggo, what are we thinking on this one?
It's Rhea Ripley's confusing as this matchup is. Do I love Spencer? Do I not love Spencer? I don't know what to do. Is she a face? Is she a heel? This is the Charlotte effect, everybody. This is the moment where you say, do you just pull the trigger and give it back to Charlotte because you know that she's the old reliable? She is the face of that division, and Rhea's title run has not exactly gone the way I think all of us had hoped. So, this is one of those, if I had confidence points on it and I had to pick, and I'm thinking this would be the least amount of confidence I have in it, but I have a feeling I know which way Spencer's going to go. So just to be, and again, it's not like I'm picking the lesser of the two. I'll take Charlotte. I'll say Charlotte gets the W, and maybe that, because, they'll just run it back, I think. And again, I have no confidence in this pick because I don't know how they feel about Rhea. We'll see how they feel when they get in front of some fans on Sunday. But I have a feeling Spencer would go Rhea, so I'm going to go Charlotte.
And interestingly enough, Charlotte's obviously got multiple ways of beating you. How do you think she does it?
Oh, natural selection, 1, 2, 3 in the ring, but it's going to be dirty. There's dirtiness to it.
She learned from the dirtiest player in the game.
Exactly. So there's a factor in. She pulls one over, gets it done. Shenanigans. I can't call what the shenanigans are. I'm not, because again, I've got zero confidence in this match. I can't wait to see it. I can't wait. I love Rhea Ripley and I love Charlotte Flair, and I think those two have great chemistry, and I want to see them fight 20 more times, hopefully spread out a little bit more than the next 20 weeks. But
it's WWE. Don't push your luck here. 20 weeks. That's a long stretch there. That's a long stretch. But Spencer, we've seen with this feud, they've kind of done this awesome thing where anytime they see each other, they just want to beat the hell out of each other. And I think that's so compelling. Have you enjoyed the build up to this match? Have you also been confused, as I have been, on who are we meant to be cheering here?
Yeah, I think the thing that's tough is Charlotte, in pretty well any feud she's in, is always going to be the heel, naturally making Rhea the babyface, but she hasn't exactly played by the most traditional babyface tendencies. I think that's been an issue since she was called up. I know they were in a tough spot with everything that happened with Asuka and sort of having to revert, not in a rude way to anybody, but Rhea was the plan C or D after everything that happened with Lacey Evans and Charlotte and sort of everything that led up with that. I'm kind of torn because I do think that the biggest thing that they could do is establish Rhea Ripley either way. She's someone who's so good as a heel and so good as a babyface that you really need to. I got a lot of time for Shades of Grey in pro wrestling. She needs to be a very defined character so that she can work her best, if that makes any sort of sense. I I think the best way to do that is have the proverbial SummerSlam moment of Rhea Ripley finally conquering Charlotte Flair and lifting the title up. I know that she got the WrestleMania win this year. I just don't think they're going to take the title off of her to chase it again for a month. I think there's a lot of merit in, again, standing over Charlotte Flair, but my thought is that Rhea Ripley is going to win this one via DQ. I think that after last month, after Hell in a Cell, sorry, I'm still confused with Hell in a Cell being in June. After Hell in a Cell, after Rhea got herself DQ'd, Charlotte won via DQ. I think they're setting up for a last woman standing match at SummerSlam or a cage match or something of that sort. These two women can't be contained. We need to make sure that this is done once and for all. And that's where Rhea gets the big win. A la Sasha Banks winning in the last woman stand or the Falls Count Anywhere match on Raw 4 or 5 years ago. I think that's a huge moment, is getting that big win over. Sorry, didn't mean to cut you off there.
No. I was just going to say that I usually like to think of it as similar to Christmas in July. Hell in a Cell in June. That's just how I've figured it out. But please go on.
No, I loved it. That's a great comparison. I think that there's a lot of merit, like you said, Pluggo, in that Rhea needs to get that big win over Charlotte because she really hasn't yet. I do think that it'd be a bit silly to take the title off, give it the month run for Rhea to win it back. I've just never been a fan of that. I didn't like when they did it with Randy Orton and Drew McIntyre last year at Hell in a Cell.
They give Charlotte I'm 14th win or 14th reign, maybe.
I don't think it's the time. I don't.
Better than a one-time champion, a two-time champion. So Charlotte or Rhea wins it back at SummerSlam.
True, but I think that if Rhea's to win, again, a Falls Count Anywhere match or a cage match, the visual that I've got in my mind is Rhea Ripley standing atop a cage, holding the Raw Women's title high after just beating the ever-loving hell out of Charlotte Flair. And I think Rhea goes into that match as champion. So I'm going to call Rhea, but I'm going to call her via DQ because they've been trying to play this game of student versus teacher. And Rhea, I'm only doing what you did and all of that sort of stuff. I think Charlotte, getting DQ'd and saying, well, I was one step ahead of you there or something like that. I think there's a story to be told.
Hey, I can agree with that. But, maybe depending on where the placement of this match is on the card, maybe the loser kicks to out of the match and they enter into the thing. Who knows, man? I'm excited. That's all I'm going to
Oh, man, right? I love Money in the Bank.
It's going to be a good one on Sunday.
It should be a good one. And then speaking of good ones, probably one of my favorite endings to Raw in a good while. We saw Bobby Lashley absolutely kick off. He earlier in the night lost to Xavier Woods, obviously MVP, trying to console him, trying to make him feel a little bit better. Gets the VIP lounge going. He's got the girls there. They've got the drinks. They've been given the instruction of if anything Bobby needs, Bobby gets. Bobby comes to the ring absolutely disheveled, looks like an absolute mess. Usually he's dressed to the nines. He's looking sharp. And I thought they played this really well. And he's kind of saying, let's get back to what the Hurt Business was. And this then leads us into this match at Money in the Bank, Pluggo. It's Bobby Lashley with MVP versus Kofi Kingston with Xavier Woods. How are you feeling about this match? Do you have any thoughts on that promo that Bobby cut and just the way they closed off the show?
That promo was excellent. I mean, shoot, Spencer has said that to me quite a few times in his office. So bullshit show. So I've heard that. So I felt that in my heart and my soul. They kind of ruined it, didn't they? They kind of tipped their hand by having old Goldberg show back up to wrestle. We all know it's going to be Bobby Lashley, and it's just a matter of how he gets it done at this point. And I think just he pins Kofi clean and just gets – because they've kind of ruined. They took the wind out of what was one of my most looking forward to matches, because Kofi is a former champion, so it is believable that he could win and set something up. Granted, it was a long shot, but now it's an even longer shot, just like Spencer's ability to get this win this week against me. It's a very long shot. So
Sorry, so like just if I can throw this out here, Davey Boy Smith Jr. is working a dark match for WWE right now,
oh wow.
which is neat. So sorry, I was distracted. I'm a big fan. I like that guy a lot.
There's nothing.
But like I think, to be honest with you, and nothing on you, Pluggo, but like you've made a lot of the same points that I was gonna make. I think it's pretty clear that Bobby Lashley's gonna win this now. It's just disappointing that the surprise is there. I was chatting with Ella J about this yesterday. There was a really great story to be told if Kofi had won the championship, and maybe there was the Brock Lesnar speculation that was still out there and all of that sort of stuff. And now with everything coming out about Goldberg and he's coming back to work his second match, like it sort of deflated this match for me a little bit, because now I think more than ever it's fairly obvious that Bobby's gonna win it.
We love Kofi.
And that's not a complaint in any like real way, I guess. I really love Bobby Lashley, and that promo was fantastic, but yeah, a little deflated on the match, personally.
Because we're not paying. I mean, you're not going to pay to see Kofi versus Goldberg at SummerSlam, which I mean is fine. I love Kofi, but
it's just a very different match. Whereas like if it was Brock, at least they've got that story there. I'd have a lot of time for even a 10-15 minute Brock and Kofi match, and the comeback story on that end of things, right? But like you say, Pluggo, it's nothing against either of the guys. It's just it's feels very round hole square peg when you talk about Goldberg and Kofi.
Yeah, definitely does. And Spencer, obviously Pluggo's gone with the pinfall here. Bobby Lashley also has that hurt lock. Are you?
Yeah, I was going to go. I'll go submission.
Interesting.
I think he's going to tap him out with the hurt lock.
An oversight on my part. I'll admit it. Hey,
these are what we call the. Can we rewind this?
Mission move. I was just going to say decisive pinfall, but you know what? Again, like a very wise philosopher once said, Lightning McQueen, what's the fun in winning the race by a full lap? You got to give the fans a little sizzle.
A little sizzle. Well, speaking of sizzling hot, Roman Reigns has absolutely been on fire this last year. He's going up against Edge. I'll share my thoughts on this first. I kind of skip most of Edge's promos whenever he comes on now. Not because I don't like the guy. They've made me not like him by putting him in this match. I was set on Roman going against someone other than Edge. I didn't want him to go against Edge, not this soon. We know that Edge wasn't technically the one that was pinned, although I think it was former referee Corderas. He was saying if both are pinned, it counts as a loss for both of them. And it was interesting hearing him say that. And that's kind of how I saw it at WrestleMania when Roman stacked both Daniel Bryan and Edge. So I didn't want to see Edge in this moment. Spencer, how are you feeling about this match? Are you okay with it? Am I being?
Oh yeah, I'm. See, the thing is, I completely understand where you come from on that end of things. Is like Edge simply coming back shouldn't be a reason for him to earn that championship opportunity. But am I behind this match? Yeah, selfishly as a wrestling fan, a legend versus a guy who's on the run of his career. Absolutely, I'm excited. I'm absolutely titillated at the opportunity to watch these two wrestle. It's going to be a heck of a good one. Excuse my language. And again, you know what? I'm going to the well a little bit on this one, but I feel like with the pay-per-view like Money in the Bank, you can't afford to have a lot of those quote-unquote like schmoz finishes, I suppose, because you are going to get two really great feel-good moments. Even when heels win Money in the Bank, it's a pretty feel-good moment to have them climb the ladder and win it and get all of that. I think Seth Rollins is going to cost Edge the match. So I don't know. You know what? Might as well, because I have to, obviously. I think that he's going to cost him the match in a way that it's not a disqualification. It's not anything like that. The referee maybe doesn't see it. I think Roman Reigns wins via pinfall because Seth Rollins like curb stomps Edge or something like that. After all of the promos that have happened with Seth, and I think he's been equally great with it. Like the one on Talking Smack. Why's Edge got this match? It should be me. I'm winning. I'm winning matches. Edge just came back. Why am I not in this? So Edge versus Seth Rollins at SummerSlam is something that, again, equally titillates me. as Roman versus Edge does. I'm hoping they're setting up for that. It seems as though they're setting up for that, and I think that that's a really, really great way to set that up, is have Rollins cost Edge. So I'm going Roman Reigns. I think anybody in their right mind is going Roman Reigns for the foreseeable future. Like, that guy's not losing the championship until WrestleMania, if that.
Yeah, and obviously, Pluggo, 2 questions here. First and foremost, are you of the right mind? And secondly, are you as titillated as Spencer Love for this match?
Well, I'm never of the right mind.
I was going to say plead the fifth on the first one, man.
Oh, but am I titillated? Can we say titillated on this? That sounds dirty. But am I titillated? Absolutely am I titillated. It's like he said, I can't argue. It's Edge. It's cool to see Edge back. He looks jacked. He looks in the best shape of his life.
Oh, yeah.
And, he kind of stole my thunder here. I have a feeling Rollins does cost Edge the title to set up, because that's what we want to see. I want to see Edge Seth Rollins at SummerSlam. That's what I want to see. So I think he ends up coming out costing him, but I think in a way where Edge does not. I think he gets locked in that guillotine and just passes out, right? I don't think he taps. I don't think there's a pin. I think he just, but then, that's the way you do it. And
yeah.
He can still, stake claim to Roman Reigns. I didn't tap. I didn't lose. You can still mess with that. And then, we'll talk about Seth Rollins' place in the Money in the Bank match coming up here soon. So I'm with you, Spencer. I hate it. It makes me feel gross. I got to take a shower after this.
But yeah, and I see in the chat, Tim Traver's also gone Roman Reigns wins by submission. So
Hi, Tim.
definitely
Good to see you, buddy.
I miss
nice
you.
to, no, always good to have Tim in the chat. And yeah, I like that thought of Edge not necessarily, tapping out or anything. So he's got that excuse should they ever want to run it back, or even just to build to this Seth Rollins matchup. Then Edge doesn't have a loss on his record after coming straight back. But guys, we will be ending the night, and I do wonder if they do end up ending the night with one of these Money in the Bank matches, just to send the fans home happy type of situation. But we've got the men's Money in the Bank match. We've got Ricochet versus John Morrison versus Matt Riddle versus Drew McIntyre versus Big E versus Kevin Owens versus King Nakamura, recently crowned King Nakamura, and of course the aforementioned Seth frickin' Rollins. Pluggo, I'm going to give you first goes on this one. I mean, we've kind of seen Ricochet and John Morrison give us a little taster of what they could be doing in this match. And I'm thinking, guys, you got this match in 2 weeks' time. Just don't do some of the stuff you're doing. So, I mean, if they were doing this stuff 2 weeks before the match, what the hell are they going to pull off in the match?
Well, if you're Ricochet, to your point, Tad, which, by the way, you're looking lovely, and I hope you got that gift that I sent you.
You made that joke already. Going back to the well, Pluggo.
Why not?
It is a WWE show, so
yeah, this is what they do. So I'm gonna do the same thing. Just keep repeating it. But Ricochet hasn't been on TV wrestling consistently for how long? So I think he's just like, screw it, I'm pulling out all the stops. So good for him. I think we're gonna see some really crazy stuff out of him and Morrison. But to kind of tie in, depending on where this match ends up, it could be different. I'm gonna go with Seth Rollins winning the Money in the Bank, because I think he's going to help Roman win the match. Roman's going to think that they're boys, right? Like, oh, cool, thank you. And then, he's going to be like, nah, see, I got my briefcase. And I think you can do a lot with Seth Rollins and that briefcase, Mr. Drip, having a good time. So I think he gets it done and sets up a potential love triangle with him, Edge, Roman, because you can do Edge and Seth at SummerSlam, and then you still got that briefcase to mess around for the next year. I think there's a lot to be told there. So Spencer would say, I've got a lot of time for Seth Rollins with the briefcase.
Look, I've got a lot of time for your prediction, and it's just got my mind racing. I mean, if, for example, and it kind of pieces the whole card together, if Seth Rollins does cost Edge that match against Roman Reigns and then goes on and wins the Money in the Bank, well, there's an excuse for Edge to come after him as well, to say, put that Money in the Bank on the line. You cost me my title match. I'm going to cost you your title match. We're going to go for one-on-one for that briefcase. And then also, Pluggo, do you think that Seth Rollins now then has an obligation to match his briefcase to the suits every single week?
Oh, absolutely. If he doesn't, it would be a crime. Like that. See, that's what I'm saying. Like Seth Rollins is the guy. Like I've got time for other guys. I won't give Spencer any ideas because I know he didn't prepare for this, so I won't give him my other thoughts and some of the other competitors. Unless he picks Seth Rollins, then we'll go for our number 2 picks. But there's a lot of good potential ways they could go. I just think Seth Rollins is the home run in sense of like you could string it out for a long time. Seth Rollins, like you said, dude, matching suits with that briefcase, perfect.
Yeah, Spencer, how are we feeling for this one?
I could not disagree with Pluggo more. No, I think there's a lot of time, and same sort of way I was talking about the women's matches, you can make a pretty good case for anybody in this. Personally, though, it's come down to a couple of folks. And I've got to give the shout out because I don't think he's going to win, but same sort of way we talked about Ricochet. John Morrison, I think, is primed for another really, really great match on Sunday. I got a lot of time for him. His Lucha Underground run was incredible. And if you guys haven't watched Lucha Underground, freaking find it online somewhere because I'm looking for it. So you can send me the link if you find it. He's so good. So good. And like the ladder match he was in at Mania 36 was fantastic. The IC title match a few months later was fantastic. Guy's a stud. And I'm excited as hell to see him on Sunday. I really don't want them to go this route, but I've considered Drew McIntyre a lot on this end. And I don't see it happening for the sole reason that it doesn't really, for me, fit him. You know what I mean? Like, he's a very honorable, noble, stand-up dude, for lack of a better way to put it. And using the Money in the Bank contract, which is very opportunistic, doesn't seem up Drew McIntyre's wheelhouse. But I also know that, like, coming off a time where maybe like his last few months of the feud with Bobby Lashley weren't looked at all that fondly by a few people, like myself included, admittedly, they might want to look for a way to heat the guy back up. And if he's going to go over to SmackDown, as I'm sort of thinking he's going to in the near future, a Money in the Bank cash in from Drew McIntyre, or like an equally weighted name, for lack of a better way to put it, is probably the only way it's going to happen. I'm going Riddle, though. I have to go Riddle. I think that there's a lot of opportunity, again, for those feel-good moments and the sort of in the pay-per-view moment of him winning. But I think there's a lot of great stories to be told with him carrying that, Randy Orton being his partner. And again, he's got the history of being very opportunistic on the Money in the Bank contract, when he's won the Money in the Bank contract, himself, or when he's sort of been aligned with another winner, for lack of a better way to put it. I don't have another eloquent way. Randy Orton could be sort of that opportunistic use of the Money in the Bank contract when Riddle's still a face, if that makes any sort of sense.
No, that was my 2 pick. So everything you're saying, like they could tell a great story with the RK Bro thing.
I think so too, and they could set that up for, again, the nice thing with the Money in the Bank contract is you can use it whenever. So if they wanted to do Orton versus Riddle at WrestleMania, awesome, they can, right? Like Randy Orton almost pulling the Daniel Bryan moment of, hey, Riddle just won the championship, I've turned on him, now we're wrestling at the next pay-per-view or whatever it might be. Happens to be WrestleMania, lots of time for that. I see Throwback through in the chat too, Riddle versus Goldberg. Like, yeah, okay, that's the only way I'm ever going to accept Goldberg winning the Universal Championship again, is if we get that match, just because you know what a shit show it's been on the backstage end between those two individuals. They have their reasons.
Riddle cashes in on Goldberg.
My goodness.
Right. I
that happen. That'd be nice.
And Riddle's goofy enough to use the Money in the Bank contract. Like, you can carry on that entertainment side that you do need. Like, again, Carmella for me was the real last great run with the Money in the Bank contract. There have been great cash-ins since then. Bayley, like 100% is in that. But I think that he's got pretty well everything you would need to have to carry that again for a good long while. And that's sort of what I'm expecting with both championships here, or both briefcases here, excuse me. So I'm going with Riddle. I'm pretty confident with Riddle, to be honest with you too.
And for your second
Don't
pick,
forget
just in case.
Well, do we need a second pick since we?
I don't think so. We differ. Yeah.
Oh, is it? Oh, okay. You
Yeah.
differ.
Pluggo gets to be wrong with his first choice, so it's okay.
No, that's fine. And definitely, in terms of Matt Riddle, this is going to be called a bro case, right? And there's going to be a point in time where he packs his flip flops in there and he whips out the flip flops. Like there's so much
bro.
They can do with it.
There's all that sort of stuff. 100%.
And they know Randy that he wasn't in this match because I think he had a chance, right? Riddle lost.
Yeah.
There's so much they can tell. So I hate to say this, God, Spencer. That's a good one.
Thank you.
That's a good pick. I also wonder if by any chance on one of these matches they kind of say, go out there. We've booked 4 or 5 different winners here. Let's see what the crowd is like. Let's see what the atmosphere is like. And then depending on who gets cheered on the entrances, who's getting cheered during the match, then they just sort of whisper to the ref's ear, okay, tell Riddle he has to go get the briefcase in 10 minutes time or whatever. And you know what I mean? And I think that would be a fun way to do that as well. But guys, I've had so much fun having you both on the show. A huge thank you to Love Wrestling.
Thank you. That was a blast.
Having you guys, releasing you guys to us for the day. Obviously, Spenny taking the world tour of kicking people's asses. Pluggo, this is his home turf. He's trying to defend his territory here. We've had a great time having you guys here. And, we started with fireworks. We're going to end with fireworks. It's a great way to book a show. Pluggo, do you have anything you want to plug, put over, or promote before we wrap up?
Yeah, just the Spencer Love ass kicking that's going to take place Sunday. About 11 o'clock, you'll know your boy got the W. We're going to have a celebration Thursday night at 8:30, episode 11 of Between Two Beers, because we're celebrating the 11th episode. So if you thought there were fireworks tonight, stay tuned to Love Wrestling. And if Spencer lets me, I might jump on some reacts or whatnot and celebrate my victory Sunday night, Money in the Bank. But I got to talk to the boss first. He's the one that is in charge, right?
No.
So, okay. Well, then they won't see me Sunday night. Maybe you won't.
Your release request has been denied.
I'm going to be in that office probably in about 5 minutes or so.
We'll wait until after SmackDown. I'm going to let you watch the first show with fans back, and then we're going to completely take your momentum from there.
Awesome stuff.
Spencer, for you, thank you guys. That was a blast. And Throwback, thanks to you as well for hosting this. It's been a blast to be a part of it today. It's going to be a blast to be part of round 2 when I hop into Advance. As far as it goes for me, though, anything that I'm doing can be found on Love Wrestling. Anything that Pluggo's doing for the most part can be found on Love Wrestling. And not only him, not only myself, but there's a lot of great individuals that are taking part of it. So if you want to check us out, it is at Love Wrestling CA, wherever videos are viewed, audio podcasts are listened to. And if you want to read any of the articles that we've got coming out in the near future, that's at lovewrestling.ca. But that's about it. If you want to follow me on Twitter, the handle's right there. That's really about the only personal social media that I've really got. So yeah, support some more great people than just myself. And thanks once again.
Well, thank you guys for doing this. I really appreciate it. Other than that, guys, I don't have to plug it because, these guys are amazing. So why don't we release them and go do it? Tad, sorry about butting in. You could do your.
No worries at all. I was gonna throw to you Throwback, just to plug, the week events of what's going to be happening on Crazy Wicked Crew TV, just so people know what's going to be coming up this week.
We're going to talk about basically everything we do talk about, and we're going to talk about the reactions to these 2 amazing matches. Chris Parrish versus Dennis Farrell. From wrestling perspective, Dennis called his shot on Drew, so you never know, something down the line might happen. And on top of that, we'll talk about Pluggo versus Spencer too. I saw Chris Parrish's first match back because he gave me some footage, which is great. But just follow these guys. They do a great job. I don't have to say where you can find me. I'm a 6'2", 280 guy from Lowell, Massachusetts. I'm not that hard to find.
Awesome stuff. And guys, yeah, definitely go and check out all of the amazing content from everyone here. It should be fun. We've got a double header this weekend, Slammiversary on Saturday. As Throwback has said, we had the picks from Chris Parrish and from Darius Farrell. That was a fun show. We then do a double header. We go back to back on prediction shows. We end it with Pluggo versus Spenny. Awesome matchup. Thanks so much for coming along, guys. Thanks for listening. All of you guys in the chat, we see your chats. We love interacting with you guys. Tim, Drew, Aaron, I know there was a few chats as well on Twitch, so if you guys want to watch it on Twitch as well, that's an option. Really fun show from myself, from Pluggo, from Spenny, and our executive producer behind the glass, Throwback. Cheers, goodbye, enjoy your wrestling weekend.